Hey everyone, it is Havo High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We are on Global, and we're going to be doing another edition of Best Teams. This is the November 2018 edition, and I'm recording this early, so there might be some changes in mid-November or late November. Probably not though, this video here is going to be a longer video, so just know that, because I'm actually going to go through the top 15 teams. Normally I do like 10, 7, or even 5, but we're doing 15 teams today because I have a different perspective, and I want to make some changes in this ongoing series that I have. So with that, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below. Love to hear what your thoughts are in this video here. But let's get to it. Last month this was the top 15 teams that I chose, and a lot of you guys agreed with me. But this month there are going to be some changes. The top 3 changed. There's going to be 2 category leads that I kicked out of the top 15. Realm of Gods, I didn't increase them. They get dropped 1. So it's going to be a big surprise on a lot of these here. So yeah, let's get to it, and I want to see what your guys' thoughts are when I make these announcements, in a sense, here in the top 15 teams. So first team that got kicked out of the top 15 isn't a huge surprise, because I was kind of teeter-tottering in maybe keeping them in the top 15 in the first place last month, and that is Hybrid Saiyans. Hybrid Saiyans is Ultimate Gohan as a leader, Ki +3, HP and defense 170%, which is very, very good, but attack is 130%, and this team here is fantastic. It runs really well, has some key issues here and there. The bench strength is okay, but there's a lot of 120 teams, 120 lead teams that are actually better than this team. So when it comes to viability and playability, Ultimate Gohan, not too many people actually use him at all. I had trouble testing this team out, but yeah, it does have some key issues at times, and this is definitely more of a defensive oriented team than a offensive oriented team, even though LR Gohan is self-sufficient and hits pretty hard there. So, but I am putting them outside of the top 15, and let me know if you guys agree or disagree with me on that. This one was a big surprise. So the next team that I kicked out of the top 15, huge surprise, because this was number 9 last month, and now it's not a part of the top 15, and that is the Shadow Dragon Saga. Yeah, Omega Shenron, 150% leader. That's just HP, attack, and defense, 150% across the board. Also has a secondary leader skill in physical, Ki +3, HP, attack, and defense, 50%. The reason why I put the Shadow Dragon Saga out of the top 15 is viability and playability. If you don't have this exact team, and you didn't summon for them, and you don't have these units here, you're not going to be running a very good Shadow Dragons team at all. And if you look at the substitutions, you're only getting 50% off of those LRs, and the next best substitution is like Nova Shenron. So the bench strength on this is not good at all. And really the funny thing is I could not find a friend to even test out this team, let alone I was looking everywhere for Omega Shenron, and no one plays them anymore. This is a year old, this was 2-year anniversary, a year old category, and unfortunately hasn't been heavily upgraded since then. And that's unfortunate. Now, Omega Shenron will make a nice comeback when full power category comes out, but as of right now on Global, I had to take him out of the top 15. Huge surprise for me. Maybe it's a surprise for you, but cuts had to be made. So alright, now let's get into the top 15, starting with Extreme Rainbow. So this team here was featured last time, and I still think it's a fantastic team, but just really thinking about it a little bit more, I think this team is really better than Hybrid Saiyans team, and even better than Shadow Dragons, because of the bench strength, because of the interchangeability and the various different uses on this. Now there is a limitation, because it has to have every single type advantage on the team to make it work, that is an issue. But if you ran this team, it's better than the other two that I talked about. Actually, there's a better version of this. I actually would have taken out LR Majin Vegeta and put in LR Cell, and then because you're able to add a physical unit in there, you can add an AGL Turles there to buff everybody up 40%. So yeah, I think this team for sure is better than the other two that I mentioned in the honorable mentions. And yeah, coming in number 15, Rose. Extreme type allies keep us 3 HP, attack defense 120%. Coming in number 15. So the counterpart to this is Vegito Blue. Tech Vegito Blue is an amazing unit in itself, but then you add the top 3 LRs in the game in LR Goku Frieza, LR Super Vegito, and LR Gogeta. That's why coming in number 14 is the Super Rainbow category. Now you have Topo as TUR now, so he provides 35% to attack and defense. Now, yeah, you have a problem there with Goten and Trunks. They don't link very well, but it's going to be a floater, and doesn't matter because you're just going to be killing everybody with LR Friku and LR Super Vegito and Gogeta. So coming in number 14, Rainbow, Tech Vegito Blue as the leader. So the counterpart to this is very similar because it is in a sense a rainbow, but you can use any extreme type units here, and that's Transformation Frieza. Transformation Frieza, you can virtually do the exact same thing as the Rose team, but you have liberties to take. So I actually rather run Majin Vegeta than LR Cell. So I put Majin Vegeta back on there, but I can run Turles along with it, right? There wasn't any limitation for having all the type advantages on there. So this team here, really fun to use. I love running this team, and very, very powerful 120 lead here for extreme types. So coming in number 13, Extreme Class, Transformation Frieza, really, really awesome. So coming in at number 12 is the counterpart. It is the Transformation Goku. Look at this team. Yeah, just stare at it. If you have these units, it's going to be amazing. And the bench strength on all these that I've talked about is vastly deeper than the ones that were kicked out of the top 15. And that's something I do have to consider, is bench strength and viability of using these teams. And having just basically super class of any type running this is fantastic. Another team you can run this is a really great team if you don't have the LRs, is Over in the Flash. This Over in the Flash super team is one of the best out there. So but on top of that, if you can run this team, it's ridiculous. So defensively, offensively, everything, it's a killer. So coming in at number 12, Transformation Goku, super class, HP attack defense 120%. So that's done with the 120%. So you're not going to see another 120%. This is, in my opinion, the best 120% team you could make. Coming in at number 11 is the Majin Buu Saga category. Key plus 3, HP and defense 170%, and attack 130. Now, really the only reason I had Majin Buu Saga stick with the top 15 here, actually top 11, is LR Super Vegito. Having LR Super Vegito on this team really makes it better than Hybrid Saiyans, and it does still have some of the same issues with some key issues, things of that nature. But if you add on LR Great Saiyan Man 1 and 2, that provides a lot of key support there. If you want some more attack or defense, you can also put in Super Saiyan 2 Physical Gohan as a support there instead, or Tech Vegito there in that support spot. But this team is fantastic. It's really, really good. Typically your rotations that you're running is Majin Vegeta and Neo tanks there, Fizz tanks there, and then you're running Super Vegito with Super Vegito, so LR Super Vegito, that is. Those teams run great, and then of course the other LRs just kind of floating around there in Goten and Trunks. So they just seem like they're floating around on these 130 teams here. So yeah, coming in at number 11, Majin Buu Saga with Super Vegito as the leader here. So now let's crack into the top 10. This was a surprise for me. So 10 and 9 was very close. And once again, going back to perspective is viability and playability. So coming in at number 10 and holding true from last month, they were still number 10, is the Android category. So Android category is Ki plus 3, HP and attack 170%, and defensive 130, with a secondary of super types Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%, which is fantastic. But yeah, this team here is amazing. You look at it, you go, great. It's the TUR with the LR cell. You have MVP 17, you have 21, you have Super 17. But when you really dig deep into it, this is more of a defensive team than anything else. Offensively, it's okay. Offensively, it still hits really hard because of the attack at 170%. But Super 17 takes a while to get to his 120% increase. MVP 17 really provides a lot of defensive bases on there. LR Cell, yes, he does AoE, but his 90% bonus right away isn't that great, and then the TUR is only at 70% at attack. So they're not the hardest hitting team on here, but one of the best defensive team in the game, and will survive pretty much anything. That's why keeping him at number 10, that was the argument, all right? Keep it at number 10. And the viability of this team, it doesn't have a huge catalog of units to use if you don't have these proper units that you are seeing on the top there. So that's why coming in at number 9, and we'll kind of talk about both of these here, it was very, very close, is actually 130% category lead in Pure Saiyans Evolution Vegeta, the brand new category that has dropped on Global. Ki plus 3, HP, defense 170%, with attack only 130%. So how is a 130% team better than a 170% attack team? Well, one is you're running amazing units. You're running 3 LRs, one of the hardest hitting units in the game in LR 3Ku, LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and you're getting possibly a double buff on that one unit along with Evolution Vegeta using Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, which if you go below, I believe it's 80% of HP, you get an additional 40% attack, and you're running AGL Turles. AGL Turles already provides plus to Ki and additional 40% to all allies when it comes to attack. So when you're adding all that together in buffs, is this team better than the Androids category? It's very close, and what made me say, okay, I'm going to put number 9 as Pure Saiyans is because of the vast catalog and usability and viability for this team. If you don't have some of these units, you can slot in someone else. If you don't have some of these LRs, you can slot in someone else, and it will still be amazing team that you can use. So that's the reason why this is the best 130% attack category and team in the game, and how to boost them up to number 9. So yeah, it was a tough choice, but you know, I want to hear your comments below if you agree or disagree with me on that. So Pure Saiyans category is coming in number 9 over the Android category coming in at number 10. So now let's get into even more interesting. So number 8 is one of my favorite teams. Really, I love playing it. I love using it, and that is the movie boss category. That's number 8 here. Look at this team. If you can run this team, it hits ridiculously hard because you're running 2 LRs with 6 link TURs, because if you're running the TURs, it usually provides a 6 link skill on there, and you have 2 Turleses to buff on rotation, so that's additional 40%, and you're floating that constantly. That's, you know, you're buffing these units, you know, tremendously here, and also added a cooler on there to buff even more. So I think it's really impressive and amazing that you always have a Ki boost and a attack boost every rotation when it comes to floating. So as long as you can get Broly and Bojack on the same page, you're good to go. Now, it does have still a decent category list if you don't have some of these units. So if you don't have the TURs of those LRs, you can just run a team with something like this or use the bench strength down there. I just really like this category. It's really fun. You really don't run too many extreme type leaders or extreme type teams. maybe extreme team with like Rose and stuff like that, but he's movie bosses at 150% across the board. So very, very good here. And yeah, coming in number 8, movie bosses category, running AGL Turles here, really, really solid. So coming in at number 7, this is gonna be the surprise. Coming in at number 7 because they got upgraded, but didn't take over the top 150 spot. And that is Realm of Gods, UI Goku, Realm of Gods category, key +3, HP, attack, and defense 150%, int type, +3 to key, HP, attack, and defense 50%. Yeah, you add Evolution Vegeta, you add TUR Topo, God Topo, and you're still at number 7. Why is that? Well, this was super, super close between 7 and 6. The reason why, I tested it over and over again. The reason why Realm of Gods is number 7, and I'm going to show you in a second, number 6 is really one unit and one duo. Because if you're looking at one of my favorite 1-2 punches in the game, I've said it multiple times, LR Rosemasu, Strength Rose, fantastic. But there's a better 1-2 punch in the game now. And that's coming in number 6. Universal Survival Saga, Tournament of Power Saga. The TUR Jiren, in my opinion, is now the best 150 category in the game because of this team that you're seeing here. And one unit here, LR Goku Frieza. And the best 1-2 punch in the game, and that's MVP 17 along with LR Friku. So adding UI Goku on this team, adding Evolution Vegeta, also having Topo on here as well. If you kind of go back and forth, you're like, okay, well, let's compare. Alright, UI Goku changed, UI Goku transformed, yes, is better than Jiren, but Jiren right off the bat, he has 130% to attack and defense right off the bat and can stun everybody. Yeah, on Dokkan events he's not going to stun anybody, but it's still 30% better than the Goku right off the bat here. Now, yeah, Goku is on the same team, but I just want to kind of compare that. The 1-2 punch, LR, Goku, and Frieza, and 17, the better 1-2 punch, as in my opinion at this point in time. Then you have, Vegito Blue, comparable to UI Goku. That they're definitely comparable there. And then the rest is the same. So I was gonna give the edge out to Realm of Gods because of the bench strength. You can see Topo, not Topo, but Jiren is actually down there on the bench. You have Transformation Goku. You have a lot of other units down there. But hey, you know what? Tournament of Power and Universal Survival Saga isn't bad at all. You can see the ladies down there as the bench strength there, along with other units that I even put in on here, like AGL Gaku and stuff like that. So it was really close. But this team right here, what you're looking at, is just better. I tested it so many times. It just it ran through boss rush faster. It was wiping out events faster, and I was thoroughly surprised. I was for sure Realm of Gods was going to be the best 150 team in the game, but not right now. Now, not by much either. So there is going to be a unit that's going to come out soon that will make this team a little bit better than Universal Survival Saga, and that's the West Kai, for that increase of 5% increase in attack and defense. And that's all it's going to take, 5% to take over here, because it's just really so close. So yeah, coming in at number 6, Universal Survival Saga. I was surprised, just probably like you guys. So comment below, let me know what you guys are thinking. So now let's break into the top 5. The top 5 is, there's going to be one change. Number 5 and number 4 isn't changed, and coming in at number 5 is Angel Golden Frieza, Resurrected Warrior, still holding strong in the number 5 spot. This is the optimal team that you're using here, with focusing on Broly and then also on Majin Vegeta. But I also like using this team. I always say it every single time I do this video here. I love running a double support team with running the 3 LRs on this. It's really fun, but still not very optimal. You should run this team if you're running optimal and best team here. The team here with the 170% to attack defense just really cements these teams much better than the 150s, especially the 120s. So it's really hard for the 150s to break into attack and defense at 170%. So yeah, coming in number 5, Resurrected Warriors hasn't changed, and then also hasn't changed. Coming in number 4 is Super Saiyan 3 category with Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. Ki plus 3 HP, 130%, attack and defense 170%. Once again, this is still probably one of the hardest hitting teams in the game. Very, very close, comparable to this and probably Universe 7, but all of these units hit very hard, and the bench strength isn't bad at all. So because you can use int units on this, you can use like run a full over and a flash team. This is a full over and a flash team, so you're not gonna have any key issues on here. But you can substitute like Transformation Goku, which is fierce battle in the beginning, and then gets to over and a flash. You can put another unit in on that. But coming in number 4, one of the hardest hitting teams in the game, and still holding strong, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock in the Super Saiyan 3 category. Now here it is, top 3. There is a change. Coming in at number 3, Fusion. Yes, Gogeta has fallen. I didn't think that this would happen, but just going over a few things, changing perspectives a little bit, I had to bump Gogeta down. Fusion category, still one of the best. It is top 3. It's the 3rd best in my opinion. Fusion category, Ki plus 3 HP and attack, 170%. Defensive 130. That's going to be a big key here. So the units that you're seeing here, all fantastic TURs, buff to the T there. One of the big problems here, it is the lack of defense, even though offensively very, very strong. The only unit that has a defensive bonus is really LR Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta doesn't have a, it does dodge super attacks, or counter super attacks, which is great. But in Gogeta, physical, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, those individuals, they don't have any defensive benefit on there. So defensively, this is very weak. Also, the bench strength on this isn't as good as I think the other 2. Still good, but not as good. So yeah, so let's kind of do the math here. So coming in number 2, so I can compare the 2 here and see what your thoughts are, is representatives of Universe 7. Yes, LR Friku, LR Goku, and Frieza has taken over the number 2 spot, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. They are category Ki plus 3 HP and attack and defense 177%. That extra 7% versus 70% on attack is actually 14% when you have additional friend. So that extra 14% really, kind of provides that edge out, even when it comes to attack, because this team is amazing. But like I said before, you have the best 1-2 punch in the game in MVP, Android 17, and LR Goku and Frieza. Not to mention adding on Evolution Vegeta onto this team with UI Goku. It's tough to deny that, even though the support on the rest of them, the TN only supports LR Friku, this team is very, very, very good. The reason why I bumped this to number 2 is really based off of defense. So let's go back and do the math here. You're having 130% defense. This has 177%. So that is a 47% difference in the leader skill. But once again, if you have a friend and you double it, that's 94% difference in defense. And Fusion doesn't have any really healing ability except for Gogeta healing you after 6 turns and under 50% HP, but anything else, there's not so much of any. This is just straight up pure power, rush through and kill everything, which you are killing everything. But I had a nitpick here. I had to say, you know what, I think representatives of Universe 7 is the 2nd best team in Global at this point in time. And yeah, it was a surprise for me, but it was a change of perspective and thinking about that. Now, then you might go, well, then number 1, of course, is the reigning champion, undefeated, LR Super Vegito in the Potara category, Ki plus 3, HP, attack 170%, and the same defensive 130%, right? And you may go, well, why isn't Universe 7 the number 1 team with your with your thought process in having Universe 7 above Fusion category? Well, this team here is all around just better. All around, it does so many different things, and it has defensive abilities, right? You have LR Rosmasu and you have LR Rosmasu with Strength Rose. Strength Rose buffs each other, right? Defensively, it provides that additional buff, and they are amazing together. Then you have Super Vegito, mitigates damage and does counters. Then you have additional attacks. You have so many things going on with this team here. It's just amazing. There's no other team that provides this much power, defense, regeneration. I forgot about, Rosmasu heals you, right? So there's so many different things, and it's still a pretty solid bench strength because you can still use int units because it provides key plus 3 HP and attack defense 90% on there. And it's still very viable. It's still very viable on that. Just overall, this is the best team. And it's going to take a team very similar to this that does multiple different things to dethrone it, right? It has a transformation in Super Vegito. Forgot to mention that. Heals with LR Rosmasu. Key buffs with Rose to LR Rosmasu. Multiple attacks, counters, buffs, just everything. I don't know. It will be hard for anybody to take over the #1 spot in Super Vegito, but coming in #1, Patara category, still a reigning champ, nothing different there, but the surprise was at #2. So breaking down, here it is, we have the new top 15 of Global Dokkan. Once again, do you guys agree, disagree with me? Let me know. Another way of looking at this is the best 120 teams are there. Then you have the best 130, best 150, yes, Jiren is on top, and best 170 is a different way of looking at the top teams in the game. So with that, I know this was a long video. I wanted to break this down as much as I can and provide you enough information, my thought process of why some of these teams were placed where they were. But yeah, love to hear from you guys. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time.